Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing the Africa-South Africa relationship. I think Nymat wanted to say something.
Yes, so I wanted to talk with the Vietnam example, total imbalance example. A lot of countries have gone into Vietnam and committed crime. We have Indonesia's anti-drug act that, that puts a death sentence to drug trafficking. And we have the impression it was only Nigerians who were being found guilty in that country, until I read about Americans who were also going through the same system of, facing death sentences in that country. Why do we amplify the negatives around our people more? So 1, 2 Nigerians were arrested. 2, 3, 4 Nigerians went to buy market. Because when we were buying markets in Vietnam, buying that air that I don't support, there was no problem until they say they made it a tourist country. Same thing South Africa does. There's this radio station I listen to every day, South African airline, South African travel, tour South Africa. It's this and that, Indian Ocean and all of that merging. They promote their tourism here. Why are they here promoting their tourism without working on the mindset of their people as a government? That's where the problem is. The same government now is in need because there's a newspaper I read online. I want to quote it well. Daily Investor took the economy of South Africa and how it is in their need of, of a trade alliance and what it needs to do to boost it up. Talking about how it has slumped the most in at least 31 years and what it needs to do to get up. Now their government is taking moves like this to come and mine our mineral resources. I don't know if Nigeria that is mining any of their mineral resources in South Africa, but I know that South Africans in our oil business. I know South Africans now looking at our lithium with Ojukokoro eyes, and then we're still having issues with South Africans, the best South African or the uneducated ones on the street, thinking we are thieves coming to their country. This alliance is to help your economy. And Nigerians can also protest to our president that we don't want it, he don't do. There are people who were killed there in xenophobia. Why don't you do a complex product with our lithium that's supposed to giving it to South Africans? Already Chinese are inside it. Indians are inside it. What's happen? We are not here talking about that. Yeah. You need that economic empowerment. Then go to your primary schools, your secondary schools, and let the average South Africa tell the one that did not hear, the one that refused to go to school, how we are important to their economy.
Let me take this call. Hassan has been holding for a while. Hassan,
I don't want to miss my...
You're live?
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Go ahead, please.
Let me call the attention of the executive members in your board to this issue. We are not for popularity contest, because I'm seeing the argument turn into pro and anti. Please, the issue is about us. Are we really representing our country? Nigerians, in particular, wherever we went to throughout the world, are we true representatives of this country? Are we projecting our country positively? Please, we should be able to look ourselves straight in the eye and say the whole truth. Wherever we are wrong, let us say it. Nigerians, we are not good ambassadors outside. I was in Dubai. I saw what Nigerians are doing. And the same thing they are doing in South Africa. When you go to South Africa, you see them involved in everything. Why are we like this? Let us talk to ourselves. It's not about protecting ourselves. We are here. No foreigners is among us here. We are talking to ourselves. Let us restrain ourselves. Let us restrain our minds. It's not right what we are doing outside. And that is why people outside hate us. If you go to Ghana, the same thing. They hate us. Because...
Thank you, Hassan.
Okay, so for me, I think in this, I want to make it a conversation about the power of storytelling and how we decide to tell a story. There was a time, or there was a time that every time people get those 419 emails, they just automatically assume that they are Nigerians. But we've watched videos after videos that show investigations that at the end of the day, it's not a Nigerian at the end of those email scams. It's another African person or a white person. Now, that does not mean that Nigerians are not involved in that. It only shows that people across the world, wherever they are from, are involved in crime. But then you decide to take one as the face of the crime. And I feel that that is the way it's told in South Africa.
Yeah.
You have decided that the face of this crime, this drug trafficking crime, is going to be the Nigerian. Now, there's this publication called The Republic, and it gives data. It says that while it is undeniable that there are Nigerians involved in criminal activities, reliable evidence nullifies the claim that they are the chief perpetrators of crimes in South Africa. It gives the number of Nigerian migrants. They are 20th on the list. With other top 5 countries like Zimbabwe, Mozambique, Lesotho, Namibia, there are more of those people in South Africa than there are Nigerians. And then Department of Correctional Service indicate that Nigerians constitute a small number of the prison population in South Africa, that there are many criminal people in their prisons. Nigerian prisoners constitute the smallest number in those prisons. So we're not saying that crime, what I'm saying is that crime happens everywhere. There are criminals everywhere and they should be dealt with, but you are picking a country, you're picking someone to be the face of all crimes that's committed in that country, and that is why I have a problem with it. So what that does is, you have refused to deal with the crime, you're dealing with people from a particular country. So that's why a Chidima who has never committed a crime in her life, the fact that she has a Nigerian father should be pulled out. That's why your president will decide on a policy, and because it has to do with Nigeria, that has been painted as the face of crime in your country, you will not even want to see how it benefits. Yeah, you not look at how that policy benefits you. And so that is what we're talking about. We're not saying forgive Nigerians, Nigerians are not criminals. We can be criminals. Now, the Vietnam thing that you talked about, where they cancelled some countries, we have to understand that cancellation for some countries will happen because you're Nigerian or because you're an African country. Does not mean that there are no criminals from Russia or from America, but they're also looking at the economic benefits of cancelling or not cancelling like an American, United States of America. So there are other economic reasons why a country may not be blacklisted. Because, one, they may feel that if we blacklist them, then it will affect some of the benefits that we get from that country. So it's not only that. Even in our regular everyday lives, we see that there are some people that have been made scapegoats. The reason those people are able to be made scapegoats is not because they are the worst people. They don't have influence. They don't have anybody to back them. They don't have mouth. And that is what is happening here. It's the storytelling that is the problem.
Let me take Emeka, I think, from Kaduna. Thanks for calling you live.
Yeah, good morning, everyone.
Morning, sir.
And thank you for having me. Yeah. So it's been a back and forth when it comes to issues with South Africa and Nigeria. And it's sad because there's no crime that happens in any country without the insiders. And South Africa always wants to paint this image of everything being rosy and all nice for them, and that it's particularly that it's Nigerians that come to corrupt their kids, do this and that. Yes. There are streets in South Africa that people cannot move around. There are streets, I run an NGO, and there are streets where every other minute a woman is being raped. Let them not push aside their internal problems that they have refused to solve and then blame others for it. Where are there no crimes? Nymat rightly pointed that there are crimes all over the world. And that's why you have institutions. If anyone does the crime, they do the time. Then let's take those statistics of the people who have been convicted and let's know whether it's the Nigerians that are more than their people. I was in Paris some time back, and they told us, as tourists, please, at so time, don't walk this way. The wonderful see Paris and die city. So why are they making it look this way? Also, I want to also believe, Tokwe was saying something about our people too, they do. Yes, but it's the same everywhere. It's just that I don't know what people say about Nigerians. They live the good side of us, and they are always
thank you very much, Emeka.
Yeah, thank you.
So we are looking, and it's important for us to look at our side. I think all of us agree that there are Nigerians who are doing very well abroad. And the truth that we shouldn't use one storytelling to paint the whole group of Nigerians abroad. Because the truth is that there was a time, even globally, aside from South Africa, where every internet fraud, people always assume they're Nigerians. 419 is Nigerian. Even now it's changing. Now we're like the education of the knowledge hub of the world. We are like the fintech hub of Africa. People are saying, oh, Nigerians are smart, they're brilliant. Even in the America, they're all celebrating smartest African, that could even from South American, African Americans. It's all Nigerians, the black race in the world. So the profile is changing. Now, does it go back to the fact that Because I was going to go back to where did this strain come from? Because I remember somebody told me many years ago when I was complaining about something, I said, Mariah, everything you're saying, the only solution is be successful. Once you are successful, all this thing you are speaking, once you are forgot all this thing you are saying, it will be fixed. So if Nigeria indeed becomes the big brother, if indeed we become that beacon of hope for Africa, maybe South Africa will eventually know their place, such that they see us as allies, not competitions, not competitors.
So I love where you went to. Mariam already alluded to it when she was talking about the fact that there are countries that are committing greater crime in many other.
Yeah.
There are citizens of other countries that commit greater crime in all these countries that they've never gotten blacklisted. China hasn't gotten blacklisted, even though some of their citizens have committed crime in other countries. Why? Because they are a world power. You cannot fight them. You cannot say no to them. There are issues, a lot of people online have been talking about what Israel is doing in
Gaza.
How in Gaza,
Exactly.
and how nobody is really saying much because
they are the super
power.
Yeah.
So when Nigeria gets to that point, there will be a level of money you can have. You might not like them, you cannot fight them. That is what Nigeria should aspire for. That we will become so powerful, our economy will become so strong that no country, even if they feel like your people are not so, your people are, this one is good, this one is bad, they can't but accept the fact that you are a force to behold. You are a power, you have a power block, and we must negotiate with you. I think that should be the right goal that every Nigerian should be striving for. However, in the immediate of today, how do we get South African young people to understand history? It is not to insult them. No, it's not to insult them because our young ones are attacking the young ones online. What we should be doing is educating them.
When we come back, we'll talk about solutions. Which way to talk is taking us to? How do we solve this problem going forward? Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.